Skip na halape is Ash Green call agus na hier turis at the blianase agus 3 gemlin at hasha chorra tivs they shach and ye cúpa finnatar. Hier der you shen in this chile at you. The gach Caristenia vitinu of the show. It BBC amateur. Asher Kim Calder in Esche, but will the free nation to Galate show on the San Pedro del Finnatar. In a halape on the hen. Agus neste gulchugur schon faunashente in is Chile met a skip at dachi. Could you with Pepet as he aims show with you? Phone nashente in is Chile and the Hennigus Miskipian Ganolach again in a hiet game the Hoofpa Finnatar Davile Exa 3 Harichet. Now for those wishing to follow the game with English language commentary, Alistair Lamont and Leanne Crichton are ready and waiting to go to take you through the game on the red button. Neshasul Erna Skipian Maha agus Skipper Kama Yolach in is Chile agus Torstein Haldorsen Sigurda dotter a torshu iterne pusht agus Kerrid as Loinitian Kama Yolach le Vigus dotter agus Sigurda dotter na Misk agus Sul in Esche id Alapa Kutjach agus Shane Layak Smo ham a kitching check wel progan he torshu shni hier Tiris the skipper Pedro Martinez Losa is fiach in die taike kurs die Kirsty Hansen as she die darne tel lekische aan the keer Gemel and Diek genne skipper nashente agus Pedro Martinez Losa Galgharm. Diach Misk Hugienef, iter Jolus, gesplicht er nure. Kolde them sekata show it BBC Alapa Turnisker Kamhumal Kerst ha Joel Murray. Joel, thank you very much indeed for joining us here on BBC Alapa. It looks like it's going to be an interesting game. There's about 9 places in between the teams in the rankings, but it looks like it'll be a test for Scotland, but one certainly that they can do well in.
Yeah, absolutely, Ali. I think all the previous games against the two have been extremely competitive, and I've no doubt that today's game will kind of follow the same theme and trend.
Richard Corsi maha, heen gus skipet in is Chile, Glodus Vigostother, the live the right to that can you and then you're guess in Spain for a will walk my car around the game ball cushion at San Nicola and Kadokar to make you with Shia degree this pick and kuan is Archie Hakmakuch. Joel, just picking up on the conditions, it's 16 degrees or thereabouts down in Murcia, but it's a wee bit breezy, and you were talking beforehand, before coming on air, about how it's quite a breezy venue at the best of times.
Yeah, absolutely is. It's quite an exposed venue, and all the times I've played there, it's been very, very breezy, and it looks like today's no different. But what that'll bring is the players are very accustomed to not only that kind of venue and location, but also the conditions.
Daar skippen we ha. Ken van loge me de achter het hosje de viert game is een immer sta shot. Je moest voor wie op dagens doors woon ik had wat in 3 pleone. De volgende gedash. Schiet hier het skippen die even koop pinatar. Geleeg. Lee Gibson. Die gedash kan het legje. Goedje se game was in. Vanaf het die net die schille. Joe Corsi, Caroline Weir, Claire Emsley, Sharon Cuthbert in een misk. Right to the Gilafev. Can a keen jack with a hulleting a rearetje. Costoge. Kufa Pinatar Davil is 3 richet er Toge Merha. Dus alle pekaat Kufkatal. En dus Corsi skipet in de wal. Die me en ga kutrmach se goed tegen nimmers ta shovi. En dan we vieren die oorlog de shower horsterape. Het hasjach de League Nationen, een zuur. En de podden niet, je hoosjes en zijn met je de blionnen. Dus alle ja, geschiet. Je bent net je vieren die Caroline Weir wie is eenmaal de paadje. Caroline Weir had je een magadief. Is de Spanje. Kwijt de Real Madrid. Kwijt je een Sporting Huelva. Fisken is op het game woordig Madrid. Telken Jonny, wat die heet, hat-trick. Gaat 3 jaar kutjak. Je wat je een college kan naar Valencia. Ze ha in de stijl of je gaan niet. Kwijt je mag van een goede als sport ha. Al op de moon. Howard. Die ook al zeggen te de lijn het ene gaat Arne dat er aan de hen. Kwijt daar AC Milan. Corsi Maha. Ook al skastuur de gedash. Minuutje de gelok. Dus je moet er ook wel altijd wil het meer nog een laatje de game zou wonen. Ze ha Sophie Howard stuurde naar een kindje die de bal de dash die Gibson. Howard de hele stierige gedisje aan de lijn die Pedro Martinez losse. Man, dag. Joel, so far a good start from Scotland, and you've noticed that Pedro Martinez-Losa's side has started to put pressure on the Icelandic back line, especially when they're trying to play it from the back.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a really positive start. We're showing a lot of composure on the ball, really good decision making, and kind of a good attacking threat. And you can see the intent there when Iceland were trying to build. They had a goal kick. Kirsty Hansen and Brogan Hay locking the box and trying to prevent that early build.
Ja, de gutje is haaien, de gutje kutjak. Wat ze goed dat dat weer. We hebben ook Emsley, is helemaal de voxen. Emsley, jach en jach. Natuurlijk hem stokken dan ik zo met ieder voor Arne dat er. Maar gevolg gaan jullie rijden in de nieuwe jacht. Je hebt dit van de duidelijk avian. De skipper Thorstein Haldorsson. Ja, de waar naar vlugje tijd. Gaat verliezen dat je een ander in de stielen. Koude het kiert gelijk game. Is 4 ligen naar hen. Ik heb 3 titelen ander in de stielen brede blik. Ze bijna goed aan hen. Dus kan je kunt eigenlijk al over te halen de paas gaan hen. En Murcia, Niriges in Spanje. Ashnestje go Howard. In de Leicester City. Ik ga game ik hoef te vinden dat de wiel nog laat. Maar je maakt zijn van Fiona Brown, hele goal serieus voor Jumsi. Dus de eerste gaan. Iemand een Suez terwijl in de stieren. It's a good play there from Fiona Brown, just to keep Scotland at that that neck of the woods.
Yeah, really good play from Fiona. She's set up in the right back position today, but our attributes more aligned to being attacking, being forward thinking, and she showed that in abundance there.
Honestly, the eerste viechen die mijlje goede in de Chile. Hier is de douche in de vaart. Howard, Gary Royan. Corsi, nestje. Zien kan nog het hier het gelijk game. Misschien van Aarschente. Hier het ook helemaal een keer Harike tegen Karike zo nestje. Zie je game zo duw. Skipper. Zie je toen ik jacht in. Gemocht is hij wil norm hashen. Alright. Is een oorlog. Ik heb het gezegd. Want we gaan hier gaat skippelde. Hier is Fiona Brown. Ik heb Jarvis jagen aan de paardje. Nog zie Johan Stotter. Hoe het af en oog gerorden. Hier tegen Dooi. Dus zijn het op te geven. Dus Sigurda Dotter, Ingebjörg Sigurda Dotter. De goede mag helemaal een paardje. Karsten Spiet er heen, dus Sandra Sigurda Dotter in de toest. Korsi, gehokkeld voor Gibson. Korsi nesje kind voor oorlog. Brynjard Stotter. Goed je de West Ham, het weekend of Magadide we geschitteren. Zo'n lichtje zijn naar de huiljes mooi. Een misgescoord haar shot tegen de Chile. Schachtel hier Karike tegen Karike shot. Hij is het koud het game en skippen Aarschente. Schalt in Jol zeg je. Ja, gaan is al jaren mag hier het korm gaan game. Hij tegen in de Chile gaan Loringi. Kali hier aan de vlees. Ander dotter. Ik gewoon naar de Glasgow. Pick up the Bjarni. Karim Keiltjes toch. Maybe a missed opportunity there, Joel, for Iceland, and it just looked like Anderdotter just couldn't get a shot out from under her feet.
Yeah, there just wasn't enough power on the shot in the end, but it was a fantastic piece of play and defence-led pass from Kristinsdottir.
Misschien de eerste voor mij. Ik heb de geugen gaan te gaan laten. Putting the Anderdotter, Kali en Elish. In de Chile die fast pick aan de sterk in de games. Joel, it's not at the same level as World Cup qualifiers or European qualifiers, but what are the benefits to a competition like the Finnair Cup?
I think there's so many benefits, Al. I think, Ali, sorry, on and off the pitch. We speak about cohesion and team bonding, and this tournament early on in the year provides a good base to kind of enhance and increase that. But equally so on the pitch, it's getting that repetition of games, repetition of training, minutes on the pitch, and having the ability to be flexible because it's a friendly. There is that option to be more flexible, to try new things and give people minutes to see what they can do.
Ja, Caroline Weir could één bier line again in de Chile. Eens Claire Emsley, koppel maar kallig. Anders zag hier het game, ik die zag de galappen, zijn er in de Chile en daar is het trikiek. Game, ik heb gewoon alle drie tuigen gegaan. Tuil van Leanne Crichton. Dus Emily Thompson en Leanne Ross. Gleeg game met de galappen de neigingen. Dus de kaartjes, kar anders zag de Vian uit de galappen in de Chile hebben ze in de premiertje. Zo'n een galappen goed in de Chile hier het game achter die. Naast aan de linkje kiek. Hier vliegt ze heen. De eerste game won de galappen 3 tuigen gegaan. Pedro Martinez losa niet wel weer een keer maar skip back here torschu aan de help. Maar te komen in de Chile als je kan zo in de vaart geven willen. Miguel could be a meal nog vuurdag goed smaak en jiske. Je dat maar zijn toch weer. Goed woordje is raar door het dat. Cuthbert. Room Corsi, the Count hook up. Started to doing the eerste keer. We saw speaking of Arak, because he fiach in his gamma said the clear Emsley Arak, maar hij allemaal to haal the pathje. Haven't seen much of Erin Cuthbert so far in the first 9 minutes, but you could see there glimpses of her falling back a wee bit deeper to try and relieve a wee bit of pressure from Rachel and Sophie in the centre of defence. Yeah,
absolutely, and you can see that Erin's a very mature and intelligent player, because when she's not in the game as much, she can then drift back in and offer that moment of magic, that composure on the ball, and it was a slightly overhit pass there, but you could see what she was trying to do. She was trying to relieve the pressure, play out of pressure and switch the play. So yeah, Erin's a fantastic player. She's a player who's extremely versatile, and a player who's invaluable to any team.
Dus het ene Margaride effect Chelsea hier zijn case goed jacht aan de verdedigende baan. Hier is een hein. Zit niet daar huilwijn. En het blues de deze en Sakarika show. Hoshi. Mr. Howard. Brown. Terwijl het ook al even vertraaien. De duw zo gaan lijn een keer in de duw. Komt zich het klutje met een saarstje. Dus kunnen we kijken of wie Pedro Martinez los uit. We bjakken de shen, en dan hebben we tuigen skipekken. Karmen kujor aan kata. We komen dan een hele Filipijnachtige Sanoors en de Gummerie. Najakken die hier. Laten we eraan kujak karma ham. Skippen hard clean call. Dus karma hard nog goed erin stochen. Nach bieg is more aan te karmeen. Thorstein Haldorsen gaan nu jachten. Dorsule de skipeks en Kristen Dotter. Toosje hier terug gaan je plus toosje misschien hier terug gaan hier terug. Gaan skippen naast de. De stile Tricia skata. Dus Kristen Dotter aan de hand. Ja, Kaal bal. Galop het eerlijk Seems very much that both sides are just trying to size each other up just now.
Yeah, it certainly does. I think Scotland have been very ball dominant. I've actually liked the way they've started. They've shown a real maturity in possession, being composed on the ball and confident on the ball and playing it forward when it's on instead of forcing it. So I've actually been very impressed with the first 11-12 minutes, Ali.
Sam Carrick Rangers balletje gekend voor elkaar staan bij achteruit. Dus Shen torste hier. Karm Gerst de in Chile bal de Gummel aan de Lene Halappen. Moren aan de sorry Jan heeft met Shen. Maar hier wacht. Ze dit beginnen Chile kan je. Zijn we netje de log. Dus je haast even de hier Karm Gerst. Zie je me. Ger, kunnen maken zijn leven, dus een jaar gemaakt. Zo dit dus zijn. De galappen. Dus Kirsty Hansen, die eerste tikje doen, je dus bonige. Zo dit van skip het Viggersdotter. Dus die klakkige jou, kut jouwes. Dus karm show. Galappen bal de hele zoals kan in de vaart geven broek. Rachel Corsi. Maar zo kun je dus je van een keer in de plek nu die kunnen maken ze beginnen. Nou ik poplak naar heden. Dit is natuurlijk geen shock het op. Maar kan man tegen de Chile dus Brynjar starten. Ik West Ham. Zullen weer gestjach in de box zeg. Dit is een mooi games op dinge gezondetje. Doe je het dinge. Weer dash in de pop het bagger hier. Chile gewoon in de dash gedaan. Ach, en die is weer een scheld in je komen zijn. Ik kijk in de vaart. Ach, die is totaal kapitein van de Chile. Of de dash en van Robin Hay. bal wat drogen heeft toelucht maken die hoort Kirsty Hansen. Dus bal de Ashen Estek. Zo goed dat er. Hier gaat Jolweg zijn handen skippen in de Chile. In de BC in Saas. Dus de vast tussen jaar van de daar willen ze nungs, 3 keers, daar willen ze 6 keer. Dus nog geen game. Nu die, en daar willen ze gaan richten. Dus de Jolweg is goed te zijn. Dan nog gaat. Hierna die was mooi. Ik game nog een goedje aan de Premier League in de Chile. Goed je kan 3 hier. Goed de baan uur en estje. Skip even wie. Glasgow City kan maar jou nog een goedje. De Champions League de baan begint te kunnen vliegen. Jamie Lee Napier. Nu de connection. Charlotte in de vaart kun je hier terug goed ja. We kunnen hem genomen als je hier terug zag. Gaan jullie het goedje in de skip de naast het kerst haast. Hansen, je show. Kus in de wel, nog het al maken. Dit van een nosje. Dus Karim de Galap, show had al een How important are set pieces going to be, Joel, in this game, do you think?
Massively important. It seems like from open play, it's a bit of a chess game at the moment. Each team's sussing each other out. So this is an ideal opportunity to work on something that the girls have worked on in the training pitch and implement it here today.
Weer, Shese weer doorgaan met haar. Bal gaan vast. Hier is hij. Hier gaat het al. Schachet de wat de tarsing. Gaan we pullach kindje. Karos in het al. Ach. Schachet de segurde dat er in de eerste klachte Joldes kus ken kindje kan in het al Schachet. For a split second, Joel, I thought that was sneaking in at the near post.
As did I actually. I thought it was going to drop into that near post top corner, but I think the wind kind of drove it over the bar in the end there.
Kamil in de parkje. Chile, ja, in het Tokalorach, de eerste op het wapen Nicola Doherty. Misschien een slaag, Shawir kan ook al. De eerste niet morgen daar. Albert Stotter. Nach een jimmel, ha. Kus zet morgen is een goed loop Stotter. En gebrede blik. Geriest. Al een beetje gestochen vee mag het smaken om aan de waal dus een minetje gaan. Ze bouwden de Goschaget de goede die ik Kirsty Hansen. En wie er kon die gisteren aan de paadje. Ach, die is Junsi van Hashem. Dus Hansen, hoe je de goede stijg op het Hashem van de skip het. Viggo Stotter. Op het magazine de hier zat er een Czech wie aan het beginnen Chile. Hansen ja, vind je zo met je gaat. Eerst. Weet je dat er zit beginnen Chile. Zo zijn Karim win. De kampioen in de widerlijn keer. Well, looking at Iceland's back four in particular, the captain Viggostotter and Sigurðardóttir as well. Two players who are really, used to playing at a high level and have played a lot of games. When you look at Viggostotter, over 100 caps for her national side, and it'll be a difficult task for Scotland to break that pairing.
Yeah, absolutely. A prolific player for Iceland. As you said there, Ali, she's amassed over 100 caps for her country, scoring 8 goals in the process. And you can see her experience there in the last few moments where she's recognised that her centre half partner's in danger and she's covered and came over to relieve that pressure.
Bal on the law van Arnardóttir. AC Milan. Hier in de hand van David is fiet. Toch die Piccanunje zag het goedje. Napoli. Hier de maar Arst aan de Serie A. Ja, ik had dus deze waardje AC Milan de deze nagai. Goed met Juve dus Roma. De Dotter. Pikken is stiljes toch in de vacuüm langs dat er hier in de hand. In de asje gedaan. Mór ást na hen fel figur stadar. Just Fiona Brown na hen cos y drog chwyd tre. Horsi, gyn y ma, ys lar ag ein i'r wir. Mwyl nes gyda Doherty. Chai cwsratydd gwlw fel ein y dyn. Hyd pyrrys a flagad o sŵs. Edyn Ysgyrsa. Almost 20 minutes in, Joel. That's the first time we've actually seen an offside, and you know, it maybe shows that both sides are still trying to figure each other out.
Yeah, absolutely. I think both sides are still being a little bit cautious. Nicola Doherty progressing far up the pitch there, and she'll be disappointed to make that ground and then kind of be caught offside simply.
Cuthbert to the gut Gatai, Neshchenko Weir go Emsley. Oh, he had got shot to the first. You can see here Corum Magadid of the Galata. But he's not true than the good to be there. Diach and Shakleer Emsley, Yach, Megiddig. You can see Shul shot to the first. Well, they were lining up in the end. In the end, it falls to Emsley, who may feel that she could have done better there.
Yeah, she'll be disappointed with that one, considering she's not got any pressure on her. She probably had time to take a touch, especially given the way the ball arrived at her. But surprisingly, Caroline Weir didn't take a shot. That's twice now that she's been in and around the area, and she's not kind of took a shot or hit the ball with her left foot. A left foot that we all know is pretty much a wand.
Especially given her form. I mean, she scored her first career hat-trick against Valencia a couple of weeks ago, so you'd think that she'd be high in confidence just now as well.
Absolutely, she's absolutely flying in the Spanish league, and you'd like to think she's taken that confidence into today's game. So it is surprising, given she's scoring for fun in the Spanish league, that she's not had the confidence to take those two shots on.
Cuthbert at all the Neshchik is showed Dag Arsten to us. Jachgadach Gashach and Clicky in an arse the Verena Voxit. Cuthbert, don't you can spot the finish. Howard on the hand, niggas have far first. Niggas da Harry McGallop at Pivot State da Vinet. Niggas Sophie Howard, come on, me Arstenach on the hand. Niggas Tina Sashkas and Sashka, skipper Pedro Martinez Losa. And you'll go to fall of Haas, get that. Hey, Stjachko Weir. Weir, Pierre de Vier and Estjaka Brown. Brown touching in the box. I caught him on the Hagus. Oh, Machrach. Corsi, Le Unje, because the stew, the stay, Ekafast the Hood, because Hanoring is any yan, because Session Haas, Kayun and the Sonish Tell. Scotland knocking on the door, Joel, and that's a couple of great chances.
Yeah, absolutely, a fantastic opportunity there for Rachel, and you can see when she's recovering back into defence, a sly smirk, because she knows she should have done better, and probably didn't think the ball was going to arrive to her at the back post.
And just picking up on Sophie Howard's header as well, very unlucky to see it coming back off the post.
Yeah, you can't ask much more of Sophie there. She got up and met the ball very, very well. And what a delivery from Erin Cuthbert. You can't ask for much more either. The precision, the quality and the delivery. It's just that kind of final end product that was lacking there.
Well, first picking about a 5 minute, you have picking the start that in the game is in Esche. Dus Carmen expecting to go up it. Dus get nu Jerin stol gewier Pedro Martinez Losa. She getelde nog een Griekje shop. Nu je kan jou haast te zien, hè? Sigurd dotter. Kan we zitten dat kan in het paadje. Toen is je ander dotter. Gaat de gouden maag genestje. Naast Howard. Sophie Howard aan die kofash getel lijn. Daar een tel legje. Nu tel wegje. Sommige like Jamaica. Ze gaan elkaar stellen, waarschijnlijk nog goed binnen kringen aan de Davies en een kiek. Emsley kata, Jaro Schach in de box, hier is het goedje laatje aan de hand. Voor Arne Dotter. Zij heeft in het nationestje. Sigurd Dotter heeft in een push. Johans Dotter, Kachal de Maag kata. Hansen til jagen jaar. Ach, zou het jou nestje aan de laven in Jachlee. I suppose when you're in Kirsty Hansen's shoes, why not from that kind of distance?
Yeah, absolutely. She was the highest player. I think she probably could have hit the shot a little bit earlier on her right foot. She's decided to come back inside on her left and probably didn't get as much on the ball as she'd quite hoped for.
Sula Diaz did ball again for a first for Sophie Howard. Maar terwijl er aan gaan toe morgen in de goud van de goed te gaan. Die aard is Marcus Caroline van de bal dasje. Keer Jundakas Nassar. Emslieke Hokal. Keer kallen die ach. Grambal we Emslik Bulach Makelior. Dus Jan Stotter. Goed, Shias kan deel in de paardje. Keer. Heb je Hansen. Weer kallen die. Dochty. Die eerste saas is een goede kant. Al af de keer we kunnen niet dus. Tot zei Eden Cuthbert een eerste. Naatje Rachel Corsi. Kijk je naar smaak gewoon naar de velden nog heen. Slaar ik het weer in je mond. Jacques Hansen le. Plek kan nog eens hij schakelt de vaste die eerste. En dus ga ik op Bulach man stoken in de karm en de galaf de galappe. Gediest Karmille nog in de skippenage. Geen van de velden dat je gaan niet jacht jaar de hoe gaan je. Ze stuurde het in de pust. Trek naar gas toch schakelt in de vast. Gediest alle krakkingen de daar is. En dus gedjekkef. Zo nachtkesen hadden we blaven nog eens wie en ze games. Eerst in de stiele vjechning. Goed je maakt van de pool. Goed met de Nachleven is een diertje. Gisjano bij een keer. Is er aan hen? Fiona Bruin. Cuthbert, Kinema. En is het eerst. Is maar je goed dit. Ze goed dat er. Ja, ze krijgen je. Als je toch haar zuur het Roswell. En is skip achtersen. Daar blijven dat je gaf. Geen kopie. Het is een darne uitje. Het is een championship. Dus het kent dit. Die strecht zoals de SWPL gaat. En dus clinching barak met de skeel achtersen. Je show het BBC al op is. Ja, gevangen Colin. Zijn. Ja. Hemsley. Hansen. Het is stuk alweer. Gamoringi. Kruimig gemaakt. Nee, hoe dat hem stoppen hebben. Zo de shark, de muskel, maag pikken te garm. Jagen je de raket wel in de woksen. Wel, dat kan op de haast gedaan. Keer. Corsi, she is alleen. Hansen. Ik zie dat je niet in Cuthbert schacht in de vaste die eerst. Hoe die warken daar in Cuthbert die eerst. Gaan jullie douchen in de duel, course die skippen een halve Grieke shot. Another couple of half chances really, Joelle, for Scotland. They do seem to be on top in this game, but they just can't seem to find that finishing touch.
Yeah, I would agree. As the game's wearing on, Scotland are certainly growing into the game, growing with confidence and playing higher up the pitch and creating opportunities. It's just that final piece of the puzzle now, converting those opportunities, Ali.
Brown, en dat is voor jou, zie je het weer, in de stiele, via de klikje mag van goal. Cuthbert. Geen snas hebben we niet bij Cuthbert. Schalten. Als je naar Chelsea, dan komt dat. Dan is het koen natuurlijk wordt die aan Kavaker. Ik skip wat doen. Kijk, deze is meer aan de touw, die aan de daar willen ze via te kook. Howard, Crusade. And it's interesting with Joelle, just looking at Iceland's tactics here. They are continuing to play out from the back, even in spite of it not really working, especially in the last 3 or maybe 4 attempts.
Absolutely, and I like that, Ali. They've obviously come into the game with a game plan, and like we spoke about, these games are friendlies. They're not official kind of fixtures, so this is a time to be doing that and trying that out, and I do like it that they're continuing to do that under a great deal of pressure.
Teraz kunt maar het hier en we skippen een halve wordt dus een kort dus je skipt de coachie dus die doen je het toe halve taart kan hebben een halve cool stand maar van een shark al op een haast ging het kennelijk het weer de hier de klok ging haast te veel met de hier te taal dus haast te veel met sabelig maar ja glee van de daar skippen ze ha save dit koffie shop making a schiele eerst Emsley die met dik en kusmail is om rol kuskaur om hen en niet sam keer kusmail die de skippen dik en schiele kun je around ze save dit hard guy bij gereed het ze doet dat er via die borak een Albert Stotter gebalde het al mag. Zie, first Moluk. En een kogeltje terechtje. En dan hier Albert Stotter. Kogeltje dat komt, zeg maar, de Saar kogeltje er een vliegende wonen voor terug naar aan in de stielen. Vanachter de brook oor. Dat zijn de tuchtig voor de wel. Hier is ze goed dat er klachten kutjouwers. Geen skippen meesketje hek in de stielen jolis. Eerst goedje maken van een goal. Had je wel dat niet nog een vechtje, maar het gaifs, maar had de Kumalore. Maar heel toch een van de heel kun je niet hè. Dus volgens je gaat Torstein Haldorsen hier weer de skippekke viagen niet kun je. Je biedt je gekruis ha. Goedje met hier bal op. Could you maintain blind again half Vanach? Joel, it's interesting that we've seen the high press from Scotland, but there doesn't seem to be the same pressure coming from Iceland.
There's absolutely not. It seems like it's that kind of mid-press. They're quite content to allow Scotland to play on the ball along the back line. And their trigger looks like the ball from Sophie Howard out to Fiona Brown in the right back area and vice versa. So they are quite content allowing that play in front of them, but as soon as it goes outside of them, that's their trigger and that's their time to press.
Almost a chance to challenge the big man. Quicker than the half bit door it, and it's going to come out. Stays in Lushing. Brown kan heel Jacke Hansen. En dan komen we naar de eerste, ik kan de vuchtertje ze woksen. Ik daar in de stielen, mij ging dat het kan wil kan gelen. Weer, koker een estje. Emsley. Dan naar Arne Dotter. Ach, hij kan rietje dat het coole lijnen. Dus je Shani aan terug naar clear Emsley. Dan ga je laten opgegie, krieke shot. Daar Angel City, alles de staatje nu niet. Jan van Everton in de wielen galaf. Dan gaat hij de gouden nestjes, hij weer nestjes woksen. Weer, sabelig en nestje tjinken. Hey, schachet de post de eerst. Drogen he de stuurder, schachet de post. Sandra Sigurde dotter. En dus karm en het ticht hem trichtjes minnig nestje. De skippen een halappe. Gaan nog een stuurder get in de push. Another couple of great chances, Joel, and Caroline, as we've been talking about, has now tried the shot with the left foot. It's a good save from Sigurda Totter, but you'd have to say that Brogan Hay has to do better there.
Yeah, I think so. Brogan will be disappointed that she's not at least hit target there. She's just pulled it wide of the post, and a fantastic strike and connection from Caroline, but the angles were probably against her. But that chance has all been kind of drawn out of a high press, albeit it was a very, very poor pass from the goalkeeper to the centre half. But yeah, that's come from the high press. But like we said earlier, Ali, it's just that kind of final piece of the puzzle, that final execution of the ball or the shot.
Nu met je hand te gelappen, krieke shot, naar het touw met tien, dus akkeljore garmen in de wiachtke. Dus Nes kom je oorlog is aan Pedro Martinez los a haast. Mach be coolin tin could me gau. Mach el bal het clear na goal in. Sigur de dotter. De frog tre. Cuthbert go hokal kata. Si se roin hugel dashko. Lee Gibson gaan je singach klevik de Lee Gibson echkin. En jesker show. Ještě jak má jálach skipí in de stíle. Kluchje na in de stíle runner show. Kluchje na Runavik kutjach. So probably did finish the game عشان كتيرا. يوم بس كده ورك لي جيبسون كتنخل. أتين كموران في مديو يوم ترى قريك شو. مش نكمل قد 10 minuten إذا ناشكو. Nieuwje. Cuthbert. In de kwachtig kan Ennemach dus een goedje en een stiele aan de hen. Dus Alexandra Johansdotter. Ja, kies in de rij de gooi heen gaan we jak. Surrit begi. In de bal wonen gegeven met de ra. Tegorst. De Erin Cuthbert. Get hij die kassen. Dus Korsi Geriet is dan wel zo is. Ja, Gedic. Brown, Gehokal, Shachat Goker, ja, Kusit. Dus de eerste clip van het huil was aan. It's just occurred to me that we haven't really seen a lot of Lee Gibson so far, and that will please Pedro Martinez Losa, but at the same time, it might just be playing in the back of his head that they haven't seen the net ripple yet.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it'll also please Lee, the fact that she's not had a lot to do. But like you said, given the amount of kind of ball domination we've had, the chances we've created, I think Pedro Martinez Losa will be disappointed not to be up here.
Erin Cuthbert to the goal. She is. Dus hier wil Graham echt de count. Dolges nach shot. Kustra gorst de Erin Cuthbert. Molach gasen. Ja, het als zo is en nou. Brynjard stutter. Ja, geen call lach. More now. Just coming together too well.
Yeah, I don't think there was any malice or intent in that one. A mismatch. Erin being as small as she is, and Rinna's daughter being as tall as she is. I think that's where the connections came from. Two players who are very committed players, and certainly no malice in that. But two bad ones, two knocks there for Erin in quick succession.
Just going back to Scotland's press, I mean, how difficult is it to deal with a press like that when you're playing in a defence who's been pressured from minute one?
It's so difficult. It's really difficult. You can train against a high press day in, day out, but on a match day it's completely different because you've got the added pressure of not wanting to kind of lose the ball. So as I said earlier, all credit to Iceland for continuing to try and build through that press, and to be fair to them, they've been fairly successful building, beating that front press and getting the ball into the midfield and playing forward. So I like it, and these are the types of games to try and implement that.
Well, Erin Cuthbert is Edi Nashka Kassan, agus Tien Fartne Fathke. Agus Hieshing in Healy Hanne Fathk. Ronjan Kajor, Pedro Martinez Losa uit de winge. Kajor, een goedje te nelen. Ach, we kering in een harm kloetje. De Fathk. Ik heb gemas nasal aan de heel. Het is een schöne dag, ik kan zo hier het game in de Nasbisch. Heel aan een Filipijnen, ik het Dollenui, de Gumri nog kaast. Dus vanmorgen met een pikken op de trein. Allappen het Dollenui, heel aan een Filipijnen, die Sarnje. Dus bij game zijn de eerste in je show, het BBC Allappen, daar het Fisker. Snos nek daar Fisker. Die maars dan naar Hachken. En weer nou in de Gumri. Dat bij alle te doges kwijt. En zie je goed voor de Noring hebben goed bewonnen de eerste van de daarna terus te versteken keert Brianne. Bal door je stjagers. gyfer gyda'n dy rhywbeth. Goed, Fiona Brown het vallen weg. En dus nestje Cuthbert die dash in de vaart. En dus Bals Nasselaar Go Emsley. En jullie zoeken echt gemakkelijk uit. Zo Brynjard staat er. De hok al dus. Voor die in Stiele nestje zechtelijk. Liggen staat er. Bayern Munich. Ja, het game echt geschut. De skipper in Stiele samen nooit. Alle op de wij. Capello aan de Daviles ga juk. Zijn je het hier tegen de schach game nog goed je wandelen. Horsey. Howard, de eerste toch al bal. Schiers, de eerste gaan je Dinjans, ga kusit. Zij roeit trainen gebroken. Zeker dat er. Dus in de Stiele die gevaar began schach in de game. En die wat leegharm. Gaan je balpelig maken joh. De eerste inderdaad de fijn kan ide in de Stiele. Dus alle het gomme sigaro gemaakt. Emsley. Dan ga je kusstraten in het koelde wel in het jen. Vlakke ik jesreetje dat al zoals. Doe ik me net in edakel maar. Gaan ik hier het leeg. With 5 minutes to go, Joel. What do you think Scotland will be thinking just now? Obviously, slightly disappointing that they haven't got a goal up until now, given the chances that they had. But they'll be relatively pleased that they've managed to keep Iceland penned in towards their own half for most of the game.
Yeah, absolutely. I think for the majority of this half, the players can be very kind of happy with their performances. I think the team talk will be a fairly straightforward one at half time. I think for me, what I would add is trying to penetrate Iceland's backline more and just be a bit more clinical in and around the box in the final third, Ali.
Cuthbert, tegen de hoek schachet, tegen het al heet hem Hansen in de eerste het film dat het vallen van een goedje te callen die Emsley in de schach in de box. Het al heet hem Emsley, is hij schachet te de watje tarsing. En is natuurlijk hem stok gevaak Caroline weer ach heet jij die eerste gevaarlijk de clear Emsley gaan door je stuurlijk schachet te tel Sandra Segura dat. Another really good chance for Scotland there and for Claire Emsley, but there's probably bodies in the way, so if it is on target, it might take a deflection, but I suppose the disappointment for Claire there is that she hasn't actually hit the target.
Yeah, she'll be frustrated with that one. I think the ball just didn't come down too kindly for her. I think it was still a bit high, and that showed in her execution and showed in the trajectory of the ball there.
Wat took a lot. Ga die eerste nu de shooter, nu het hamen. Gaan le 3 minuten in de dag dat je junge zijn naar gel. At dit hoschach. Is Spanje. Is goed dat we 3 naar keer dat hoschach. Maar nou zo. Carmen ik Emsley zeg weer Howard. Dus ik broken heeg. En het kindje with de goal schach gerieke zo. Nesje had de bal haar schachet tegen Carmen de jo. Is hij schachet in de post. Bij man de andere dat er. Hicht de bal lichtje ga je gut voor alle. Een chauffeur gaat zijn. Dus maar ik hier je slag bal slag gehicht in morsen kan andere dat er. Ik er al room een gezoenje kan jaar. Een chauffeur doelen we zijn gijzen naar voor je bal de stuurde de racket. And Joel, looking at that chance there, we've been talking about Scotland's disappointment and not hitting the target often enough. That's a really good chance for Anderdotter there.
It was a fantastic chance, and that's the worry when you don't take your chances at 0-0, regardless of the ball possession, the chances, the opportunities. If you don't take them, that something like that can happen, and then you find yourself 1-0 down and on the back foot.
En als je niet go weer, fiach in je haar, because hij schachet de post de eerste. Ach hij de goal. Voor goede bij de Stiele, zo ik me jedig. Want een goede 13. Dus ze zijn vaak al kunnen door in de Caroline weer schreeuwen en van nul gaan naschen. at some point you might just think it's not your day, but there's plenty of time yet, I suppose.
There's plenty of time, absolutely. There's obviously been a deflection there, Ali. I don't know where it's came from, but hopefully one of these chances will be converted by either Caroline or anyone in a blue jersey.
Ja, Dawn kan spot the finish. Karm en hen voor Cuthbert Hakiri the finish. Corsi. Nesta in Chile dele gudish. Is dat Kinemach de Arne Dotter. Se Kiene beslies jaag kan je halat bij Cuthbert kon die. Je Kineman heel Arne Dotter. Bal Dawn jaag in de box ze die eerst. Het is fijn jasle halat bij Ide. Hoe dat de dele gudish. Je me vastelijk pikken. Keer neste fiachani koosne hokrug. Doherty ligt back in the room. Singe Chanug het Jeunje aan de Martia. Doherty. Hansen. Noring te galappen. Dal. Je moet eruit. Het wil het Adi 1 runnen. De sugars van Jeunje. Hey. Zoals. Maar Gunlag staat er. Fiachani is een haar stasje. Brown kon die. Brown, ja, geschach via de paadje. Via de bal weer geschach van Emsley. Wil je het koele beloon niet zien? Gaat erop voor zijn mag af. Dus wie hier maar in de Chile. Het kietje zijn je zoals go vast die Unie. Ja, slier voor halve daar. Het kode de karstel de horen gegooid nestje. Je nodig dat je rijdt, dus minnet. Waar achter de goed is je game. Zijn we kan je in de Chile weer het hele kussen met de haat. Bal, kan toe gaan. Nu zo gaan vastje. Dus nu de crescene is een hier. Zullen ze bal de tichtje ko weer zet je geen zo met je geen verplicht geen niet nog voor Caroline weer Tijak rijdt Fakal wil zijn kajunnen show aan Marcia ik Johnny ik leeuwje eter in de Chile ergens alle aan de koep bevindt daar Daviele ergens het drie herricht Sulmaha is na die hier een kleunje, ergens Rosville, Davlione waar hij een groeger had het daarna het is een championship. Kan ze de SWPL gaan, ergens kleintje nestje parak, maar een skillak kakken.
Aan een Daviele zijn neigtjeek, at ze wat het hokal en ader je chlanien of a kluchbalkosje, ze ames skippenbalkosje Rossville aan het droggertje Niespik, skippen en banen steegug. Agus beken is Joey 3 bliene, han a bodden niet a puchtig, zo'n fijn sues gaan SWPL.
3 years ago, the question was asked what our plans were, and our plans were to have a women's team. So we worked hard to get that women's team. It was nearly up and running. We were ready to go, and then COVID struck. So we had a tough period at that point, keeping these players because we weren't in any league at that moment. Nothing was confirmed. A lot of teams were interested on the players that we had, but fair play to them and with the work of the club, we kept those girls. And then the great news came that we were accepted into the championship. The reason, when I spoke to you 3 years ago, it was a women's team, but could it be a recreational team? But the quality we brought in, the girls that were showing an interest, we had to go a step further, and we created a team that was good enough for the championship.
Mick and I's view always was that the pathway would need to be there for the girls. I think the big decision for us was whether we went down that development route into a more recreational women's side of football, or whether we should go for the professional element. The challenges within that is that within the professional game the criteria is very, very strict compared to the recreational side. But the quality of players we had, we decided we had to go down that professional route. And it was a challenge. There's various criteria regarding coaches' qualifications, standard grounds and everything else, but we managed to achieve that. Well, we're very much new kids in the block. Coming in, nobody really knew much about us. We've been a community club, we're not attached to any professional men's club, but we surprised a lot of people, I think. And the achievements that the team achieved last season was outstanding. You know, to get second place, to lose unfortunately in a playoff T5 to go up. It gave us all an appetite and showed us the potential that this squad and this club can actually achieve by going forward.
It's been staggering, and that's for all the people that do the work behind the scenes. We're all volunteers at the end of the day, and the commitment shown by people within the club has been absolutely excellent, because when you interviewed me 3.5 years ago, we had 70 girls in the academy. We had no women's team. At this moment in time, we've got over 200 players in the academy. We've got a women's team who's competing in the national championship. We've created that pathway so that girls can go and play football and reach their goal.
As Joey gaf cawl amach a artigach soos gannes to be pelaga and tezen sa chai, who can skip a Julie ní sherry as time ar art coach, le eulas farsingach aun and game and ban, but fysaich gysavat gro Rossville kerst ye.
Ultimately, I got a phone call from somebody that I kind of used to work with at Celtic, just let me know that they were looking for a manager, and asked if I would be interested. I came up and met with the guys here, and within about 2 minutes of speaking to them, I thought, yep, I absolutely want to come here. So I think where the club want to be and where they want to go, you know, that was the most important thing to me. You know, they did very well last year. They were absolutely fantastic, and just missed out on obviously getting to the Premier League in the playoffs, and you know, and to hear them say that that's what they want to do, and you know, so it kind of matched everything that I want to do as a coach, as a manager. I want to go and coach in the Premier League, and these guys just totally matched that. So it's one of those things. I think you come to a kind of championship club and you're not just quite sure of, you know, the talent that we'll have, but you know, coming in the first training session, I went home absolutely buzzing, because the girls were just fantastic, and you know, first and foremost, they're all brilliant girls, and I think that's really important at a club like this. But you know, we have Premier League players playing the Championship. There's absolutely no doubt in my head, and it's, you know, I think we'll try to do the right things to get them playing where they should be. So, and we've managed to add in, you know, 5 or 6 absolutely brilliant additions to the squad as well. And you know, I tell them every week they're Premier League players, and it's up to us now to go and make that happen, because they're absolutely fantastic.
Son Jim agus Mick, she root the lea van gan skippe, Julie ein mar art coach.
Julie's been absolutely outstanding, because there's one thing that we're an all-inclusive club, and when Julie showed an interest of coming on board, it was a no-brainer, because the experience she brought, developing kids, because she came from Celtic's 19s, and I might be wrong, but I think we're the only team in the National Championship with a female manager, which is great. And going back to that, we're trying to promote the girls and women's game, not just on the pitch but off it, because at every age group we've got a female coach.
Julie's a major coup for this club. She came from Celtic's under 19. She produced a lot of players to go through at the first team, and that's what we need to do. Currently there's about half a dozen of the under 18 squad have actually played for Julie this season at various times, and that's something we will look to do, as well as attracting outstanding talent from out with the club. We need to develop and nurture our own talent, and that's something we've got every confidence Julie will do going forward.
Y ganyan na núnia gydachach go cálag, a an crew agus Amas Rossville is clychyd yn a halig fo im a gache, agus an skippe y fasthat na húnia.
So I joined in January 2022, so kind of midway through last season. As soon as I got here, the girls were brilliant, all of them very welcoming. The intensity was brilliant. Training's been good. Obviously we had a change of coaching staff, you know, coming into this year, which I think has only been for the better. You know, it's they've all been brilliant with me, positive, and yeah, it's just a really good environment to play in.
To be honest, I'd never heard of Rossville before, but obviously they're very, very new. And when I came in, I was blown away about the coaching opportunities, the pathway, everything about it's brilliant. Obviously training at Petershill's great, good location, and yeah, the facilities are brilliant, coaches are brilliant. There's a big support from the higher up as well. Like, I got a message from like Michael Docherty. You're talking to him before he even joined, being like, "Welcome, really happy to have you." So just felt welcome even before I came in. So yeah. So the aim's always been promotion from the get-go. So we finished second in the league last year, just narrowly missed out in the playoff. Again, we're sitting second in the league just now, so still pushing for that. That's obviously a real pull factor coming here, you know, get the chance to play in SWPL2 and possibly beyond. So yeah, that was a real attraction to coming here.
Le skippen yn ban yn ysgeich gysarfachalla, ha amas yn ac yn clwb eith fatters o'n barach i enw, eith agos far na parke.
We've got a real appetite after last season to drive this club forward. We've got the backing of the club, the main club. Recently the club became a charity. What that should enable us to do is actually go and seek further funds, you know, major grants, which we'll look forward to. Because one of the biggest challenges we've got is we're here and we're happy tenants at Petershill at the moment. The ladies play here. Rosvale as a club need a home. And as a trustee, and I know the club we're doing that, we're speaking to local authorities as well to see what arrangements we can make there, because the club has grown, you know, beyond anybody's dreams. I mean, on the ladies' side, when we spoke last time, we have over 3 times as many girls playing football. There's over 800 boys and girls playing within the club now. We need a permanent home, and that's what we're going to strive to do, and that's a major challenge for us in the coming years.
Han skippen y gyr i ein sŵs gan SWPL a. A chast ag y clwb, ha dyr son y genw cyndio gyda'i arch a hawn far fel y clychiad yn y ffain polachus yma chas y gêm. Agus ag y nynawm, y leisach ag ysgil yn achga.
We've added a lot this season in terms of experience. Julie's came in and brought some girls from Cumbernauld Colts. Last season we were so close, but I think maybe it was a blessing in disguise to have a bit more development and maybe be more ready to go up this season. So that's the aim. We're close. We're sitting second as of Sunday after beating Renfrew. So yeah, we're just working hard and we're excited about Sunday. So we have got quite a big squad here, I think 23, 24 maybe, but you know, every one top player is fantastic, ability levels all round, you know, everyone pushes themselves, there's competition all over the park, which is what you're wanting. The training sessions are really good, everyone wants to push themselves. We've all got the same goal, we all want to get promoted, so every session we're here, we're working hard, pushing ourselves to be the best we can be. And yeah, the team spirit, it's very, very good. You know, you'll hear it in the changing room before a game, you'll hear it at the start of training. They don't stop talking, so yeah, it's fantastic. It's a fantastic team to be a part of. I hope it can go up. I hope it can go to SWPL2 this season. We've got high hopes, and then Julie's an amazing coach, and we feel like that's possible with her. Not that it wasn't possible last season, but I feel like we're building something special, so as far as we can go. Teams have done it in the past that have came lower down and made their way up, so why not us?
Agus son a hwle ding a han sas, sef chomor a hawn gyfil yn skippen y banach Rosvale ac yw'r criach iddyn schleer. Son a ciet yn jachlani yn oca, a clycht ac na tra iddyn.
Oh, it's really important. We've been down a couple of times to the younger sessions, you know, the 8s, the 10s, the 14s, you know, they're all very excitable. They love coming to our games on a Sunday, and just for them to see where the women's team is now and where they can get to in the future and beyond, you know, beyond Rosvale, it is fantastic, and the number of girls that are here, it's exceptional for this club. As you said, there's hundreds, there's loads of age groups, multiple teams at different age groups as well, but yeah, it's an absolutely brilliant setup.
It's great, they come in numbers every week. We've got our mascots and stuff, and they're always talking away to us after the game and saying how well or not well we've done and stuff. And yeah, no, the under-18s have been good, and it's nice to see all the young ones come. So yeah, it's been good. We know names and stuff, and they sponsor, the under-8 sponsor Rachel and someone else. So we've got that kind of togetherness even in that kind of front. So yeah, it's good. We feel like a one club throughout the age group, so it's good.
Yeah, absolutely. That's massive. I mean, I've been around the women's game long enough to watch. You know, I was there when Hearts were just starting out, and I look at where they are now, and I just think, you know, and if you look at Hearts and their youth system and things like that, it's just fantastic the amount of girls that they have in and how successful they are at every age group, and that's ultimately what we want here. You know, we want people from the local community, but we want to attract the best players as well, so it's getting the balance of that right. But I think having a successful women's team is kind of paramount to getting kids in and knowing that this is the place to come and play their football. And I think with the atmosphere around Rosvale and from everybody who runs it, I think you know, I think you're right, this is the place for girls to come and play. So we're going to try our very best to go and make sure that we have a Premier League club for them to go and play in.
In the past, we've actually had girls coming through the academy that's actually played in Celtic's first team, Rangers first team, Glasgow City's first team, because at that time we never had a women's team. Now we've got a women's team. We're not saying we're as big as these three, but our aim is, how no, we've got ambition. We've got ambition, so in 2 or 3 years' time, can we get girls through the academy that will be entering, playing for Roseville in the SPL, so they don't need to go anywhere else. So we're creating that pathway, but a good pathway at a good level.
Yeah, very proud. I mean, tonight I was up with the tiny tots, as we call them, the 4 and 5 year olds, with a first team player, with an under 18s player. Mick and I are up there every week just now, and we will continue to do that. We'll continue to give girls a platform to play football at Roseville, from 4 or 5 year old right up to a women's team. But we want to create a facility for girls to continue to play football for Roseville and enjoy it and be part of the club, and that's our ethos and will continue to be.
Sianag of Roseville, maha agus gymahid gais yn y sianag organ y deis yn y sy'n ymwystach yn diach ni SWPL y ga yr un agus balcosio y ban yn olaf y sydd as na sarf bysych mae'r asatio heitio sias idd y lig yn cwdiach agus anna heo cwysyn iddo fi nid gym ni ffarf bysych y fachgol cerst ach a waf yn lwcher iddo fi ac na halop yn eich halwr y ffiog na paadge y farach idd y sgwr agus bysyn over tam y tigaf ach na over Sean Dolchus Kujak Dolshach and a darn Joel Murray, Colin on the Hill Kujak. Joel, we were just talking at half time there that Scotland, after that first half, they've almost got the entire package, you know, the press, you know, the ability to find short passing and stuff like that as well, and creating chances. But the one thing that they're lacking is that clinical edge.
It certainly is. I think you're absolutely right with what you're saying. They've got the full package. They're very patient in their build-up. They're playing it forward when it's on. Their decision making 9 times out of 10 is correct, but it's just that kind of quality in and around the box at the final execution of everything that they're doing in and around the box. So hopefully that's something that they can kind of be better with in the second half.
And just as we see a few of the chances coming through here, Claire Emsley and looking as well at Rachel Corsi, Sophie Howard, you know, Scotland have created plenty. And on another day, on any other given day, they might be 2 or 3 up by now.
Absolutely. On any other given day, Caroline Weir needs the one opportunity, Erin Cuthbert needs the one opportunity, but unfortunately at the moment it's just been one of those days for them. So as I say, hopefully in the second half we kind of rectify that and we start kind of converting the chances that we're creating.
In terms of Pedro and his mindset just now, when things are going so well in one way of creating all these chances, do you change or tinker too much?
It's a tough one because it is a friendly, so to speak. It's an opportunity to get players on the pitch and give them game time, but equally so, you don't want to make subs to kind of break that momentum. And at the moment, the girls have a good bit of positive momentum, and they are playing really, really well. So I'd be kind of surprised if there are any subs at half time.
Digan Sheila and the Alapa, I guess the Skipian Kuyuman. I guess in Sheila, Fiachan is a spot, Fiachan is Bald via Shachat, Eloinik in a Halapa. Heishing is Nati Karstel and a Hurach. I had the Hien, and Lauren the Galapa, Love and Walker Rain. Skip it, the Villat, my Yolda Haneshe. It's a cushion, a Herst got down on the hill. Gerike shock use daar dus meerdere kan je de koep bevinden daar aan de daar willen fiet in het hele waan van Abby Grant vaak al alle de nung pingen van nung wat komt zeg tokal dus doe als je hokal ik je de knooi de dag keer die we nu die ga je goed je aan de daar willen ze hun richt de linie van Demek gaat door dat krijgen met nu die goed gaat de gewoon nog een triceps. Er was 3 transmission in you. Nee, you had je blion zo akkoord met dat. Je dat you trouw is in je borst. Is trouwens daar de in de Chile. Could pick een verach EP playing een keer in de halappe. Zijn dus Jon Stotter. Ja, een hele kleine stijg, gezien een hele kleine tiedag en mag. Dus goed, je gaat ook al pikken. in at San Pedro del Pinatar. Almost picking a screw on me here. And namens de Spanje. Språkart bij een Cuthbert aan de hand. Vaak al wil zuid dit kaviam. Begin is Chile show. Geen bier goed. Dan laten we goed dat ze hier het vaak kormach dat kormach de bieden ik. Man de ander dat het. Misschien dat je niet veel met. Maar de goede kan laten die. Het hier is die al wat uit. Kormach die echt is. Skip echt goed het hasje. Met de willen nooit. Maar dan ga je gamen. Dus hier te kasten worden. Ik kan het slot. Dus hier gaan het even net in de show. Dat Jon Stutter, down ze traag. En de jarige maas had dat goed korse jongens een Cuthbert schies aan de laar aan de heel. Dus Cuthbert zo'n impressive toerist, korst. Dus zo'n oorlog, de galaten. Slightly concerning, Joel. Aaron's taken probably the third sore one of her afternoon, but Rachel seemed to hit the deck and stay down as well.
Yeah, and that's not like either of them, especially not Rachel. You can see she's in a bit of pain there, and I'm not entirely sure what part of her body it is, potentially her ankle.
That looks a nasty one.
Yeah, it does look a sore one, and you can see she's grimacing, and it's not like Rachel Corsie to stay down. So, yeah, hopefully she's okay and she gets back up on her feet.
At what point do you maybe say, you know what, let's not take the risk? It's, you know, we're well on top in the game. I know that Iceland have maybe played a wee bit better than the first opening minutes of the second half, but what do you think the management will be thinking just now in terms of taking risks this early on in you know, a three-game competition?
There's no need for it, absolutely no need for it. There's a big squad out there in Pinatar. There's a lot of quality on the bench, so it wouldn't be like we would be diluting the quality if we made a sub. And like you said, I think you need to be sensible with your approach to these things. Erin, like you said, has taken a few nasty knocks. Rachel Corsie looked a sore one there. So, yeah, I think you just need to make the right decision for the player.
Collis uncle Rachel Corsie dulle hidige de vaart. Arna dat het. Dulle. Moet je zo dat je skip het. Misschien je dulle die eerst. Maar wat wil er aan de hand? Goeie Hug is Ronjen ik Pedro Martinez losa. Ze ha Corsie kennen dat je de vaart. Dat je kent gebullig kort er zijn. Vallen we eerst die eerst. Good luck staat er. Jarige dash. Echter, with Caroline Weir agus Fiona Brown in de moelgoed. Dus dit voegt die mag eenmaal naar paardje. Vallen Sjaachke eenmaal de boksen. Carmen de geld tegen Chile. Arpen en Hanneket. Agus zich hier taal. De groep bepinnetaar. Daviele agus de trierighet. Agus Sulemi could do a swag for Clicky because Hurtith Fala Valley Gibson agus at Inish Chile. The quote minute and gonna darn it. Either goal at Hoshach could two to no, but han game either goal agus Hugh and Lee Gibson gonna viach. Shen. She the heat though liking. Agus Apple Grill Shen over Tamet the Galata Inish Chile Hoon Alapa and Johnny agus Sulemi Christian Stotter. Hoe het hel. En ze ging vechten in de hel. En geschie katera hoe het hel. Hier het kechbekje. En ze hier het hel. En gesplisje krië. Te gaan laten trouwens en daarna Joel, looking at it, it's heartbreak for Scotland, especially after such a dominant performance in the first half. But a moment to remember from Kristen Stotter. It's a darn it hel on. Tegen is Chile. Maar graag ze hanik. Daar hel tevens tegen gewoon minute. En gezegd in is Chile. Gewoon mag geschalig met haar. Als je toch glitschingig te skippen een halape. Ik is toch glitschingig te skippen in Chile. Je Christen staat er van de eerst. Maar zij ha fisker echt gezegd hebben we ieder zorgje maar. Je kent het als je nestje. En gezegd het Fascinating slag, Christian Stutter gain je dash die is. Agus da huls. Tivestay minute van een nullige tijd. Ashen toch richting. Ashen met hashing aan de Marcia. Joel, just as I was about to say, what a special moment that must be for Kristen Stoddard, who's playing in her first cap. She scores 2 within a minute.
Incredible, and how a game can turn on its head, Ali. First half, we're dominating the ball, we're creating chances. In the second half, to Iceland's credit, they've come out, they've applied a higher press, and they've been more positive on the ball, and they've actually started the second half better than Scotland, and evidently so, with them being now 2 goals up. And like you said, Kristiansdóttir, first cap, 2 goals up, and what a finish that second goal was.
Wel, gaan jullie naar juni, wil je tuil gaan, ik ga hij ook tuil hier gaan, terwijl de dag het game. Dat is aan de nieuwe Chile, de Rotter Reykjavik, dus Sulemi. Hier het karstweetje ha, hier het karstweetje in de game met al te Agla Maria Albert Stoddard. Nu zie je het Fiona Brown. Dus je gaat het terug dash met hier van heen. Ach, Femi al altijd je gaat heen hoog gegaan, heel. Ik heb een game roeig vallen oren geïde. Dus hij in de Chile is roet. Wat was in de kamers die jaren, dus hier die jaren had is de kormen naar gegaan. Dus haar al op wie in de muun gaan voor goedjes morgen in de game. Had kan maar ook heen daar heel kan Johnny het gelijk. Howard, she is line. Kusje de Schent Brown, dus nestje Arnadotter. Ja, Marcus Tjundre vallen voor Brown. This is early signs, but it looks promising from Scotland that they're building, that they're not letting it get to them, and that they're keeping steady and they're trying to build passages of play.
Absolutely, we need to forget about the first kind of 5-6 minutes of the second half there and get back to playing the way we were playing in the first half, being confident and composed on the ball, and try and not let these 2 goals kind of impact or reflect their decisions.
In is Chile dat, dus ik zoals de paadje. Doherty, hij terug te verwaal de Jon Stutter. Dat het gejaar van de rij te de kata, Jon Stutter, ja. Dus betjeen van andere dotter. Gejaar evoiken is raad, nesje skippet, down zit vallen van Doherty. Daasje nesje go Arna dotter. Ach, de jargemach le Hansen. Dus in is Chile waan, lummel waan, misnach game met eraan nesje. Dus glee riech het in de skipjen. Zo'n gemaakt gaan naar koers naar gespot had daar huil dat al eter in de skipjen. En er is dus een herftuil dat je niks bij alle is een schijnig jacht nu. Maar zo'n ding heeft geharretjes die gemaakt goed dat zich het lee. Zoals kom je aan de paadje, Cuthbert steen naar je nader bij haar huid, andere dochter. Dus die is natuurlijk hem stoken gebuk. Zit het aan de hand van Jon Stotter. Wat denk je de Barak in je Arne dat er dan heen naar die is kuswoordje is raad door. Dus met daar in is Chile wonderlaan misjag. Zie je daar heel wat in te steken. Maar je daar ben net met een raar hinnen aan. Zit de vlave die is. Zie ik te lille. Brown is raad. Zat er een jacht in Chile. It's clearly evident, Joel, that Iceland have come out after half time going probably fortunate to be level and are full of confidence now after those 2 goals.
Yeah, absolutely, and you wonder if that was the game plan, stay in the game as long as possible, or to the half, considering they were against the wind in the first half, and then second half come out and play with the wind at their backs, and it looks like they're kind of trying to do that and implementing it very, very well.
Jon Stotter, ik Wolfsburg, gehele stjach, en de grokkige deur te gesha. Ik heb ze niet kunnen maken, schrijven, maar gewoon alle de schijn. Nee, zullen we krijgen. Kristen Stotter, waar uit de moenje die is. Zie je het game met je, dan is het een aanstekje, is je de hat-trick. Zie je nog een je, dan lig je het ook nog een genoemd van het jeeke ruis. Dus, ik vind Molle voor Thorstein Haldorsson. Maar het goedje in de Chile, raken lig je het komen, zag ik ieder we zien je. Diolch yn fili ffeimach at Bican Iolus. Mae rai ffein Bican Iolus ag nidus yn estiu. Wir. Gain y dash. Emsley. Corsi y dash go Gibson. Got yma mi holet je. Fyna sien. Heddi fi math tron y gêm ha sio. Diolch fi dawn sy'n trofian y path ge. Ygwys cwmar greim iddo fel rwyd ysgwtr mi che. Sydd o'r ageiniodd brogan hi. Ach baw yn bog di yn gwrst. Ysg. Ygwys Cuthbert. Ha y ganyan groc na ga ein tron y gêm. Colos ni fa corth al o'r ag yn iddo sy. Mi'n ysgil y gol ddasg yn y die glee in esje. Koos in the shin. Dus een Arna Dotter. Just wanted to pick up on Sam Kerr, Joel. It looks like there might be a sub, and there is a lot of subs actually. But just Sam Kerr, she looks to have been playing really, really well in the middle of the park.
She has been, yeah, and she's kind of taken her domestic form into today's game. She's very composed on the ball. She's got a fantastic turn of pace. She can drive forward, but equally so, she can play in that kind of six role, receive the ball and play the ball and change the point of attack. So she's a very versatile player, but a player who's been playing very, very well for Rangers, not only this season, but last season as well, and the seasons before. And she's shown that quality on the pitch in abundance today.
Yeah, ja, in aan de hen. Dus kijken we wel. Q Kerr het in vet naar paadje. Claire Emsley. Dus Caroline Weir. Drogen he. Uurlijk het in vet naar paadje. Geneet Martha Thomas. Nee, dus nee, die Sheila het game met al. Steve Murray. En Misk. Dus Lauren Davidson kun je echt geen korm. Took a lot of maha. Here Curran, next check Martha Thomas. Abby Harrison could you get in the thought, Gusanka Harrison head here. Bow, Donjach, Connorstach, Hanile, the student at the Tarakit. On the hand for Lauren Davidson. So we make the studio geworden. God dream. Martha Thomas. Dus Curran Kyle Illet to go up it. Bow Skunjalish in the box. It's a really good delivery into the box, but Lauren just can't steer it between the sticks.
A fantastic delivery there from Fiona Brown. She's playing on the right-hand side, but shown there that she can also play with her left foot. She's a very talented two-footed player, and I don't know if Martha Thomas's jump directly in front of Lauren put her off a little bit there, and made her kind of not get the best connection on the ball.
We see Christy Murray, Martha Thomas, Lauren Davidson and Abby Harrison coming on. What kind of effect do you think that will have on the side now?
Obviously it'll give the team a bit of energy, a bit of freshness. Christy Murray, is a very, very tidy player. She'll kind of put in a graft of work in the middle of the pitch. Lauren Davidson and Martha Thomas up top will give you that energy, will give you hopefully that clinical edge. So yeah, I think the substitutes will certainly add quality and strength to the team.
Pedro Martinez los uit. Toch gelauw richting. En ze skippen na Canjoni het gedig kan niet de Cuthbert met bal. Kom ons toch een sterke Harrison. Hier het Curran McGabby Harrison hij Timmichel de Njaglee. Hij de vruchte kusrat het valavegus. Echtere. En dit is dat hem Njaglee. No nie Gunlaug staat er was raad. Ach op dit van de Noschen kan we kalap show. Dus die eerst pikken werk. Avjoge getien het al op. Abby Harrison's first attempt, she does well to bring it around the goalkeeper, but the angle's always against her there, isn't it?
Yeah, it's always against her. You can see as soon as she gets to the ball, she looks up and there's no support, so I think that's the only kind of option she has.
Cuthbert, the ball was skip it. Funishing, Ksenia Thalav. There goes Stotter. The eerst. Bal kan gevatte mag die Fiona Brown die games goal mag die Gibson in eerste. Is je soccer hoog. Aster game go either. agus stocha bhí feiceú tíach cóla bheith standa túáil na páidge. Skipíon hélan an Filipínach agus chumraí tíach gan nólach a hén. Has na cluiche noch cast. Agus an darna game gan lá. Céir i báil cumastach síos a leine. Agus dhíist. Gech suag mi ydyw, sy'n mir cyn ffyrclichtyr dian agos opydd ma, fo Martha Thomas on the hen. Gwyth Manchester United. Ie. Fi 3 gemel yn dygalad fe sŵn eich tol. Ach wedi och gan y deich gan y sien. Pi miel noch cyw yn ein dygalad fe, gos y stiw dy gydash. Gos fiach ni'r wyd gan hort sy'n games it. Cuthbert ma ha. Doch hyd. Ie hieran yan hen, gyr i roen. Sinistach glada casan agus siniste Corym ag in Síle blisi suas a fad. Trúd na trúd mar heil cered in este galapach Iwnsi vagad idir bo Nicola Doherty an hen. Iwnsi chrúi, Iwnsi logal, Iwnsi idir vilsing gyma iolach bo Nicola Doherty. Hierst slag valate. Agus bi in Síle de misnach aglis seo. Bal suas bo Arna Dotter. Fiona Brown is a rod. Dus unig jaar aan te galata haast. Vind je het echt kritisch gestoken? Wel unig jaar aan haast. Kunnen we via mee passie in de larak. Haar ook groei. Behalve Cuthbert schachert de lijn in via mee. Davidson de Viergesjach. Just another half an hour, Joel, left of this game. 27 minutes or thereabouts, but. Just strikes me that Scotland maybe just need to remember that there is still time and not to force the passes. There's a couple of slack passes just creeping into the play.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's always the worry when you kind of go behind, as the impact that has on decision making, and it is just kind of ensuring that the players know that there is enough time to play and get the first goal and then hopefully the second goal and get back into this game, because we can't forget the way we played in the first half and the way we dominated. We just need to get back to those levels.
Dus sy'n gefechi in Síle y dyn af arach hwn ga. Agus ysgyn ie an hen. Amanda Andra Dotter. Hadde we ga riechyd. Ysgyn ie dysach. Agus colad ie Christian Dotter. Ik wil het daar hel. Gna I hat-trick i diw. Gyneith na haatje. Gunhilda Jons Dotter. Gunlaug Stotter. Het is een paard gekutjak. Agus Elisa Villa Vidar Stotter. Het is een eet naadje Gunlaug Stotter. Agus fijn mollig van een kortje aan de hen. Vidar Stotter het kunnen we 3-0 kutuhal de paardje. Kwijt het valuur. Pure de Margaret Lara Vidar Stotter. Dus ik wil klaar een smal heeft taal in de goed. Te skippen in Síle. Gaan met Keith Figet. Dus aan de zonretje zijn. Harrison. Kom Cuthbert. Cuthbert de eerste kamers het bal naar zijn. Zo wel Davidson en Roy. Nou, kamers het Roy het goal de lijn niet hier. Bal trainen is wel Murray met Davidson. Davidson schach in de box zag die eerste. A Viggus Dotter on the hein. Skip it because Creed is saying in the val. Thomas the eerste cover of Mai. The Sigurd Dotter is Viggus Dotter. Just on the line again in Síle. So the schach of Jan to go up in the eerste. So yet. So we kill organ put that make in Síle on the hill. Davidson can ma. Voor 1-P. Jack Thomas zag. Njagli het cool of cushion. Paul Connors toch gaan zijn. Voor Davidson. Vast zeker dat er Ishel Kajorkus. En een kindje gaat gaan zeggen dat hij dus kan doen het. Martha Thomas zo goed. Doherty. Kind voor oorlog voor Jon Stotter. Hier. Ja, maar het korsie je de gouden nacht dus zijn de kwam hartst bij Berglin Bjork Torvald Stotter dan de gatje voorspel. Zo dit toch heb je show. Dat Davidson en Galchius voor Iwnsi. Shaw Ball, the Hanneke Schach. This is a great delivery from Lauren Davidson, but Martha just can't get enough on it, and even if she did, it'd be a difficult angle to sneak it in.
Yeah, it was a fantastic delivery from Lauren. She's had a very good positive impact on the play since coming on, and you always ask your strikers to get across the front post, get across the striker, and Martha Thomas very nearly done that.
Agus Fiona Brown i tien Fartna Pathke, Kirsty Smith i tien eith na haatje. Agus Kirsty Smith i heen, gyma iolach ac yn iddys y. Canlygydd iechyd cecht. Skip yn arst y. Agus Jakovic Colin Fisker Tisarnia. Sy'n y darn y game on the gwfft yn y tar. Alapa yn oed Helen yn Filipinach. Nynal. Ydd Fisker Tisarnia da with Fisker sio ydd BBC Alapa. Agus Hieshing. Fi at haast gynffringis yn latfish. No, fi at y sydd hi at pwingen. At Martha Thomas y fiach yn ywyd. Fa ymwyl y focsa a Hanneke Cyswag mi edrych ffer y glycyd hyrtien. Agus the first Martha Thomas gyfer who made. She's causing problems for the Icelandic defence.
She certainly is. Martha's a typical striker. She'll shoot from distance, and she, like Lauren, has caused problems since coming onto the pitch. But I don't know if you heard on the comms there, the organisation there from Christy Murray, the pressing triggers, and that opportunity came from the basics, communication.
Balladash. Sy'n hiet Sewag ag Kirsty Smith ag West Ham. Hyn agos Dagny Brynjard Stoddart, gyma iolwch eich cach chile. So pli anio fai fein. Gydym, chynysgib yn arsynt a hadys yn blion hyn y galaf. Fydd y gyrym da hwyrys da blion y galaf. Ach, corym. Ach, Torstedt Pedro Martinez losa yn môl chwg yn y hiol. Sa Ies Martha Thomas kutje met de Jachglee. Eerst bal de bochtig me goort. Dus droog voortrein. Gammes het Jon Stotter. Bal bochtig naar Faber. Gaan je zo. Faber alap ik het heb. En dus bal het hier voor Nicola Doherty. Meedig zullen we het het allemaal. Er zijn drip van een osje. Staat ja kalde sliep ik aan alap is game is. Gaan je gemassen water zich hier het had daar hul kan je niet jedig. Dus kijk even naar aan de smisse heet kuchen kutjach gat ze ha. Carolina Wilhelm Stotter. Kennen we snel nog een Noschen Kesjogal. Is dat Bayern Munich? Wilhelm Stotter. Stjach toon in de boksen. Dat is gewoon. Dan gaat het tijdje met een jockey. Jan Stotter, dus hij schachat de watje tarsing. Ach, hij het allemaal schon. Dit van de Noschen die is. Natuurlijk een groot keer de stuur de schacht de watje tarsing. Nou, kun je ook Lee Gibson zitten mee. Geen verplicht er geen gevoel je gebied gereed dat niet zo kan doen ik Caramella ik William Stotter ik al gaan woksen goed en een nieuw naadje Jan Stotter voor die eerst dus de vier dat is schach gaan van Bergling Björk Torvald Stotter dat het coole wel in het hier dus de grok weer dorst Jan Stotter Gammes in het hul. Torvald Stotter dat het coole wel in het hier Thomas gaat draait meer achter zo wel in het hier Smith Keer hier geslaagd dus nu je roeie maag geneestje en dan mag van Cuthbert gebouw schachet in de lijn het hier en is nestje Torvald Stotter trein en is Koremeke in de dritte tuil tegen de Chile savelig lekassen van Lee Gibson en in de Gunnars Bullock het val af haas geta Jan Stotter die is Timmy Kalora en is Femi Cuthbert in de stjach en is Dede Kulisjeval en is Chapip van het huil we staan gaan je Jan Stotter gachlitching ach chef veugen gegaan kuju te galappen nach Boring te Torvald Stotter naar bestuurder Schachet en Lee Gibson en dat you could class as a let-off for Scotland, because Berglund Björg Tolvarsdottir is a real quality player. She plays for PSG. She has played too much football, and I think that probably showed in her pace and her finish there.
Yeah, it was certainly a let-off for Scotland, a ball over the top, but I think Rachel Corsie done very, very well to recover. She applied enough pressure to allow the Iceland striker to know that she's there. But yeah, I think Rachel was caught in two minds whether to give away a professional foul, but I think the right thing was done, and Lee Gibson, made a fantastic save.
Thorvaldsdottir Lieth Cliché van het hoofd in je nuddy. Dus ik geen dit finish go skip de Paris Saint-Germain. Ga je los aan de real nuddy. De goede sound aan de Paris go. Daar wil eens keer de richet. Ga je kussen met op een maak je krieke shot. Eerst in de stile toekerbouw. Naar Dotter. Nationestje. Eerst had de mission gepikken. Davidson is een rad gehokker. Scars de keer. Cuthbert. Voor één piece spot through. Timothy let it Cuthbert. Ga je kennen maar. Fijn je val af het eerst. Christy Murray. Zo again voor goeie ter in de stielen. Altijd de eerste kamer zit Davidson. Ga Collis in de stielen is je laat niet wat rieretjes, niet wat korter. We skippen een halve. Wordt naar grond geskiet. Cuthbert. Eerst moe wat bigger stotter. Zijn je val af. Cuthbert. Eerste kamer zit Thomas. Jorden de Wouw toedag. Marie. Sam Kerr. Nageneestje go Davidson. Lauren Davidson. Val hem naar heen! Dus hij schachet in de vast. Natuurlijk om zo'n jeek in de hand krijgen de al te stijven in je vast. Ach, kan zo nog jagen Lauren Davidson. Die hier tel de en skippen naast te het pullen haast. We horen nog door die geet daar in de hand. And why not from Lauren Davidson? Because it looked up until that point, just in the previous 5 or 10 minutes, that Iceland were beginning to deal with the Scotland pressure. But Lauren Davidson's direct there, and it almost paid off for her.
Absolutely. And Lauren Davidson's not shy. You don't need to ask her twice to hit a shot, and quite rightly so in that situation. She created the opening herself. She's kind of manipulated the ball from right to left, and unfortunately just didn't get the direction on it, but a shot on target and confidence there from Lauren.
Thomas, de hokkel in Estje. Eerst nog niet krijmig om alleen. Als er zijn Estje naar geleerd is er al altijd zijn vijf niet krijmig om alleen. Dus vijf die maaien goed de mission gaan een miss squad in de Chile. Kun je gewillet. Gewillet Arsenal uit aan de rang in de deur. In de Chile. Aatje Shia Kiek. Dus al even is een gootje aatje Rieket. Eerst als toch akoestisch op de natuurlijk al op gezegd Pedro Martinez los uit en gelet het parakast te zien met zijn Grieken show. Dus nu je shield gas. Thorstein Haldorsson weer het kleur. Valletje green te daar. Ja, het is juist. Maar een goed galap wie tel de ga naar 3 het hoschach in Stotter, hele kalestjach. Shit, balletje. Jan Stotter. Dus balletje voor Karsten Nicola Doherty. Dus Doherty getting in the hand. Ach, Karim Kullerstock of your shot. Nicola Doherty complaining there, but it does look like it comes off her hands, and it does look like it is a free kick.
Yeah, unfortunately, in the modern day game, you can't get away with that. Hands aren't in a natural position, and the frustrations there shown, but ultimately I think the referees made the right decision.
Lee Gibson ha golwchige balle ha ma cynnif. Ys cer Jimmy Hill de val in y Chile. Colosam gyda Wilhelm Stotter. Bayern Munich had dollar shot. Uncle Jan Gilfie Sigurdsson, Champion at Everton, Spurs agus Swansea, and Sa Arga Gitien. Agus Arna Smith Ausgrim Stotter, Etienne, and that Ingeborg Sigurðardóttir, T in the V Luchthansa Glasgow City, come on, Jolach, Ausgrim Stotter, for you, see the different hill. Agus shot to the back Tarsing from Wilhelm Stotter. Is Piachi al op die Tokalora. Dat is dus een minuutje hedakel. Not the best effort from Wilhelm Stotter there.
No, it certainly wasn't. That was a fantastic opportunity to at least hit target, and she'll be disappointed there. There certainly seemed like there was no kind of real belief or conviction on the free kick, and yeah, a disappointing free kick, Ali.
Inte la fecking kommer hit det upp hade ju du som minnet hade hier norung av komma lorre. No väl mycket att skylla gas så väl Emil because game of all of skylla gas det är skriva sen. 12 minutes to go, Joel. It's quite difficult to rouse the troops, I suppose, for Rachel and the other experienced players, but you know, the game is still there. There's plenty of time still to get back into this. Yeah,
absolutely. Iceland got 2 goals in 2 minutes, so we've got 12 minutes to play, and we need to believe, and we need to show that belief all the way to the end.
Hassan. This is the usual. Volle shock of pick and skis at Jen Stjach lead skipping a halap and Estrik and Hanila kommer quicken is line at Jen med va tras i game. Ganyan chen kata. Gewoon geen menach zijn. Tuurlijk een groei de wel maken aan de paard. Ja, Ray Hollish en ik even Garst en Kirsty Smith. Dit is eerst guy in Chile in de sokke de show. Ja, zo dan ik havoc se be. Hier je game goed om het 100ste wie in eerste had ik daar net wel. Eerst al te keer dus ke ide. Ik denk de koude kassen met striekjes daar niet zo. Nou pik aan uske aan het je vaak gele pik aan een slukje laat zich hier Who's going to fight? Get Abby Harrison. Either from the goalkeeper game at Diak, she's going to skip an hour. Harrison. Here's Jackie on the target. Head. Bal de Gauw. Out. Hier is die Korsi aan hem kastedigelis voor oorlog. Ik ben het goed wie kan vatten shot te laten. Het zou aardig hier tegen Chile. Dus Selma Sol Magnus Stotter, Tjeneed. Sishika laatje Alexander Johan Stotter. Fiorentina. Magnus Stotter tegen Rosenborg. Eerst Thorstein Haldorsson Thorst Harm te drung gegeten. Colosam te laten de game zo goed goed. Ha nu net in de dakel. Looking from an Icelandic perspective as well, Thorstein Haldorsson will be really pleased that they managed to weather the storm for the first 45 minutes. Have really played quite comfortably in the second half. I know that the 2 goals will have helped, but they have seemed to play with a confidence and a comfort.
Definitely. I've been so surprised at the way Iceland have come out and played in the second half, because if I'm honest, Ali, I wasn't impressed at all in the first half. They looked sluggish, they looked kind of ineffective in and out of possession, but certainly the team the Icelandic team that's come out in the second half has been night and day to the one that turned up in the first half. So of course the coach can be proud of the ways players have managed the game, managed the conditions, and are certainly looking at this point looking to a win.
Gehad, niet wat 3 voor Stuur Putjach. Je het game ik Stuur zat het niet in de keer gewoon hoe Harman die houdt Martha Thomas getaag en die is look at die en die Magadi dus mail gelore goed Arne Austrum stotter dus Harm tegen de galaten dus Schiede vallen we die eerst. Nestje krijgt het toch wel over de eerste. En die aan de blaar naar gaan, turnen Jisket. Toch, die kunnen maken smaak komen uit de zin. Met de Toehou. Dat is een andere schaam de zin heet, hè. Rusty Smith. Murray. Die is Timmy verloren. Ga je niet. Nou, laten we de gomma. Murray. Thomas. Jessica Harrison. Harrison. Haast de wouw. Toch een die halen hier. Harrison kan hem aanballen. Weer geschacht en de vaste goeie. En we zitten Davidson aan de heen naar Gaporing. Je kan hij niet. Murray. Dat is geschacht en de boksen. De eerste njachlee fijn doornike. Lost de haast dan tegen de Chile. Smith. Die hebben goede de ligt er die in. Alle bocht die verkouden. Auskom stotter. Dochter die het haast gedaan. Corsi. Tokkele count. Door je gaan die bal weer gestach. Thomas aan de hand. Thomas fijn smaakkedag. Het eerste kusboek in zijn raad. Dus Harrison was zoals een Jonsdotter. Ach, bal haast ik al af. Doherty de bal schach in de boksen. En dus het toch had ik in hoe Sandra Segura dotter. En de bal voelig. Ik kan heel een paar keer gewoon. Ja, zo kan ik door die krijgen met. Scotland still applying pressure, Joel, but just nothing really paying off for them.
Yeah, again, similar theme to the first half. Working the ball into the box very, very well, but a combination of Iceland defending very resolutely and also just not being clinical enough.
Should also pick up, Martha Thomas had a half chance there with the loss for great work from Arne Sifhaus Grimstotter, who Glasgow City fans will be well aware of her abilities. That's a bal in a schach who's a merk on the hen, one of the key. I had the fine jasne shalappe. Dus had het kwijtje zijn in de wal, and just as I was saying, I thought that was going to go in there, but just picking up on Ausgrimstotter there, another quality player who you would have probably played against in her time at Glasgow City.
Yeah, absolutely, a quality player. Our physical presence, our ability on the ball, but equally so our intelligence off the ball makes her an incredibly hard player to play against.
So the eerste echter. Wie ging de Kirsty Smith tegen Lee Gibson naar voren taslish. Dochter die is vallen. Wie Harrison naar de Hessie de wouw. Dus toch die de vrouw. Dan gaan je Arne Dotter. En zijn nuunje is net die kunnen shield gasten laten. Stuk game voor de horse crucial van mij guys. Dus Colosant wil dat de dash gaan het heelste nog kunt vinden. Wanneer je het game aan de groep van het jaar daar wil is drie. Je het zijn vaker kan je crucial maar natuurlijk geef. Maar als je de doors gewoon nog daar game met daar kan Helen en Filipijn achter Sarnie. Is nog een skip in de Kumri. Dimart. Karmahan kata ganyan hulukala hashen. Karmahan. Bekan de blassa te harst korriglit na gil. Bulach jammer geniet ha show. Eentje nog geen keer houdig in weet Pedro Martinez lossa. Ede skip het al schagen de dag game het akers en nimmers. Thomas. Hadden we figet nee, hadden we figet. Ach, she Arna dotter. Het oorlog weer naar hen. Dat wordt het daar. Ze maken gerst, de kanaal gerst. Corsi. Schagen die aan de paard, geeft er wel Murray. Eerst gehoord Jenken Jalle. Timmy Hilkes. Immers te wie voor alle de boksen in Chile Lugu. Hoort die dag nog door het Lauren Davidson het Praga uit het middag gesloten kien. Hij kien nestje Davidson. Jacques Thomas zich. Die eerste skip uit. Lucas Dotter. Blaadje. Maar dan ga je de wie van de eerste keer met de raad. Dus je ziet wie een paard voor kunnen never kunnen in de Chile. Het al op de gewoon een maag krieken show. Je ziet het vast. Davidson. Antonis Jack Harrison nach der Küsse. Toen hard gejoord. Toch een 10 is dit. Corsi fjaggen ja. Hij schachert de vast. Dus de Schentel goed miles wie het segur de dotter. And Joel, for all we can talk about Scotland's lack of clinical edge in the first half in particular, probably should pay tribute to that player there, biggest daughter, the captain, who has been pretty immense throughout the entire game, really, and a large part to do with why they currently have a clean sheet.
Absolutely. I think biggest daughter there has been an absolute standout in the Iceland defence. Her communication or organising, in possession, out of possession, she's been absolutely fantastic. And like you said, without her, I think it would be a different story today.
Alle pachtig me gehoord, Thomas, 4 jaar, die gaat terugje me de cool. Het vallen van de val. Soms vind je wel schön de helden is met de hele gal te galappen. Is de game has shot. Dat ze haar kwijt van in Chile de galchies. Van uit in het paadje. Dus ja, gevechtje in hot Joel. Looking at it, just Martha Thomas just falling away from the ball and maybe just sums up Scotland's afternoon really in a nutshell.
Yeah, I think so. Martha off balance there and snatches it in the end, and the end result shows why. But yeah, I think it sums up our kind of performance today. Very good on the ball in our defensive and middle third, but in the final third, just not good enough. Creating chances, but not taking those chances and not being clinical enough.
Cormuse heet Pedro Martinez losa. Cormuse heet van een goede terren. Dat ze haar goed niet Arna dotter. Navras Kishal is een nisket. Die kunnen daar gaan. Wat die de game. Alle twee keer uit tuil in je shot, maar hij iets het komen zag hij. 3 minuten. De gunje warak die hier. En is een aan de nestje. Doherty. Schach in de boksen. Eerst. Hoe je daar een kaljoor en een leentje in de gallen. Dus fijn van de walde Doshak. Cuthbert gaat dat. Helemaal kaljoor naar Kassenhaast. Cuthbert kinema. Mariach. Voor je heen, dus Abby Harrison in een raaf. Dus Gemach. En dus absoluut zo gaf Sandra Sigurda dat er in de zorg dus dit paar show. Dus alles gorst dit Arna dat er aan de hand. Vlug kindjach. Didn't seem like there was too much there between Arna Dutter and Harrison, but looks like she might have jerked her shoulder.
Yeah, like you, Ali, I didn't see much in it there. I didn't see much kind of contact. At first when I saw her kind of lying off the pitch there, I wasn't sure if there was a collision with the kind of the boards at the side, but yeah, not much contact, but certainly looks a sore one.
Dus han iskar ikke shit kishal. En Chile som David net kan ju sjuska tecknar. Att så Harrison en näste. Liachan is bal of Jürgen Stachan of Oxford, Dinaschko Care. Machen in je mokke Doherty. Again the Nash. Horsey. Howard. Crusade is als je geen echt in stof kusra hiek trainiesket voor goed er die in halape aan te vjagen niet bal ook al schachet de lange die in bal aard bal vatte en gezegd dit knooi ja ik had crusade schon een er nooit en gaan je schadloos ha leed Martha Thomas ergens Kirsty Hansen. Howard is al soos agus ja bóla heen agus Sulemaker Jonsdotter Gunhildur Jonsdotter na hadden we koik het ken call agus Collis Gorst de zijn ja die schakket al soos van wel dus de King Gorst die schakket en nog cast hule toe. It's a classic example, Joel, of two players that were just had eyes on the ball.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, no intent, no malice in it, and that Sophie Howard, she's all or nothing. She won't pull out of anything, and she's certainly not a nasty player. So yeah, I think there's certainly no intent or malice in that, and it's just a horrible collision and a horrible coming together.
Connie, me lachwer. Ik dagelijk het call maar zijn ach wordt hama 15 check wil die schake dash soos gloenien na dan zie je you die zulen dagelijk het ja de wou maar huilen toe dus maar 15 wil at de kijken gassen het Jan Stotter Stjarnan is check Utah Royals currently Rachel Corsi Count Lille etter de Daski Pajot. Get down met er. Michael Davies hockey. House is starting unity. Zit gehar schachet. Maar hule toe ach Silvi. Gewille rate de it. Als we geld in te goedje ken. Het nog een pullach kindjach ek nie se. Een minuutje waarop is met 3 minuten ga je goed dus je game goed. Dus je schön. Koshi. Harrison in eerste ja gaan die hoe gedoortig. Gaan je kajor Aston aan de kassen Martha Thomas met his wielen schreeuwen in je de schön. Die veel weer de right de game show hartstikke count. Ruta Haitianov. Agus plisje toe, agus plisje krie hand te galaffen. En ze hier de game ach kijk kuft befinnetar. Davile sigarichet. Thorstein Haldorsen agus Pedro Martinez Losap de het live kachele. Ach she ginjach a in Chile wisse de goikwan. Skipekke hoe dat het melachking tranigiet le. Dan je een kutje met te galaffen. Agus hoe dat daar hul is het darnje. Dus vaak al ik deed de kussen in de Chile het hoshach. Daar huil kan je niet in de jalatte. Fisker vatten, te galappen. Dus Fisker goed wie het kreeg aan de dooi kema. En zet er jalletje naar die uit niet. Dus Joel, Murray called them haast. Joel, it is really disappointing for Scotland, especially given how dominant they were in the first half, and they had so many chances as well.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's the most frustrating thing. The way we played in the first half, the chances we created, but our inability to finish those. This being one of many.
Exactly, and when you think of a ball coming out to some of these players, you know, Emsley, we are. Sophie Howard is really unlucky there to see her effort coming off the post. But you want the ball to fall to these players, but again, on any other given day, they stick them into the back of the net.
Yeah, absolutely. The ball was falling to our creative players, our players who have the ability to finish those chances, and unfortunately it wasn't our day because we had an abundance of chances like these, but we just couldn't convert them.
And again, you know, when you look at the quality, there wasn't any issue in creating chances and creating really good chances as well. It's just that clinical edge.
Absolutely, Alan. It's crazy because watching all these back, we actually done the hard part. The easy part was putting the ball away, and we just couldn't do that today.
And that was the only chance that Anderdotter had. That was the only real chance that Iceland had in the first half as well. But in the second half, they were a completely different side. And Scotland, I don't think, really anticipated that.
I don't think they did. I think they started well, Iceland. Evidently so with the goals they scored, but it put us on the back foot, and it probably kind of phased us a bit. And from that point on, we started kind of making poor decisions, not executing things well enough, and not doing the basics.
Just on a note about Kristinsdottir, first cap for her national side, 2 goals within almost a minute. That is a spectacular afternoon for her.
Unbelievable. She came into it as I say, not been involved with the national team before. She obtains her first cap and gets 2 goals in the process. But the second one especially, there was an element of luck in the first one, but the second one was an exquisite finish into the top corner. Nothing Lee Gibson could have done about it.
And again, despite Iceland coming out more in the second half and being a lot more comfortable, there were chances for Scotland in the second half, but again, none of them really paid off.
Yeah, absolutely. After we got over that initial shock of conceding twice so quickly, we made the changes, and those changes made an impact. You saw that freshness, that energy in Abby Harrison and Martha Thomas and Lauren Davidson, and it made a difference. But unfortunately, it was too much, and we couldn't overcome that.
And sure, got him avec Lauren Davidson, and see, Diana Bassett, Emil Voxe, agus Garg Schachas, Schachat to the first, and Shinafakar. Where does Scotland go from here? Would you say that maybe this might be the most difficult game they'll face, because the Philippines and Wales will both provide challenges in the coming days as well?
Yeah, I think all of the games in the Pinatar Cup will be extremely competitive and difficult for Scotland in many different ways. We obviously played Wales last year in the Cup, and Wales come out on top. So I don't think there'll be any easy games or hard games. I think across the whole 3 games, it'll be competitive and very difficult in their own ways.
And as we were talking about in commentary, I suppose the beauty of this is that, not to say that it doesn't matter, but there isn't anything riding on this, that they can make these kinds of mistakes, if you want to put it that way, and it doesn't cost them a place at a major finals.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that not having that extra pressure, of course there's pressure there from within because players want to perform, but not having that added pressure will hopefully mean that we can look at this game, reflect on it, but put it in a box and put it aside and look towards the next game. Just
very briefly, Joelle, what do you think the message will be from Pedro Martinez-Losa to his side just now?
I think fully focus on that first half and take that first half performance into the second game and the third game, but whilst doing that, focusing on that kind of ability to finish the opportunities, because the opportunities were there, we were creating, we just couldn't kind of find that clinical edge.
Joelle, thank you very much indeed for joining us on what could have been a much better day for Scotland, but in the end, a good learning opportunity for the national side. Kia tang the Joelle as we calling show BBC Alperson hier het game de groep Pinatar. Daar willen ze hier het dus op de hier en kujak show kujak Alpe mijn Helen en Filipina ges get the toch skippen nach heel pulige aars na Rangeland as skipper zijn Bitulan Machanjev skipper Pedro Martinez-Losa Fisker Kisarnia Dawood Fisker call them heen show BBC Alpe Morsen eigen harne Dundee United en St Johnston ek bound 3 league na Halape. Well, Dundee United Caillou, Bias na Camas 3 punten. Ek het hy en my skipper Colin Davidson is Crew jy mag het is nie maar sterk gevoedig as of die league. Sien ek sjou in die BBC Alpe. Is Norsen again me aan die koek Pinatar Alpe en nou Kumri gemaarst. Ek Dawood Fisker. Ek is hieshing na Sashke na machine. Kwiet punt give sig Alpe is bi karmache in die doos ha show geleeg. Wat zijn ik woonje was San Pedro del Pinatar aan de Murcias Spanje. Alape le plishig doel is hier het game met de groep Pinatar had het kalt daar hulk en Johnny en hij in Chile. Fisker maken we het Brighter days, how keep you lifted when you're losing faith? There's gonna be brighter days, though it seems distant, know the world will change. Brighter days, brighter days, brighter days, the world will change. Brighter days, brighter days, brighter days.
days.